morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Falari. Hope you had a great weekend. Now, this morning, I was just reflecting, and I wonder, when was the last time you wrote a letter? When was the last time you received a letter? You know, I'm talking about back in the day when there used to be pen pals, when it was one of the main means of communication. You know, the postmaster, the postman, I beg your pardon, the postman was quite frequent, especially on his bicycle, whatever might be on foot. I don't know if you've seen many postmen around. So what are the intricacies of the postal system in a digital age today? And does it still have a role to play? Well, fortunately for us, the Postmaster General of Nigeria, Bisi Adegbui, was in town. Normally he's in Abuja. I imagine he's also moving around the country. But on the rare occasion we heard word that he was in Lagos, we said, okay, Postmaster General, do pay us a visit. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for coming.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, viewers. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Indeed. In the scheme of things, how relevant is Nigerian Postal Services today in 2018 and moving on? Of course, you understand the backdrop to the question, because nowadays, to answer the rhetorical question I asked, I don't remember that I've written a personal letter and posted it or anything like that. Not when I have email, not when I have WhatsApp, not when I have all the digital alternatives nowadays. But the postal services will still survive?
Well, all over the world, it's a worldwide phenomenon that is a postal ecosystem or postal administration or the universal postal system. Will it survive because of the advent of what we call disruptive technology? I've had to answer this question over and over again.
Well, it's like taxi drivers and Uber.
Yes, and literally to say that anytime they ask me this question, I'm not going to play the penalty into throwing. Because it's clear that people tend to look at the postal service from the old school brick and mortar point of view, mail delivery.
Yes.
It is gone beyond that
so
because
it's
of technology.
It's a perception problem that the
Yes.
Postal Service allowed.
Yes, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
To let you know that at the heart of everything anybody wants to do in Nigeria, Postal Service is there because of what we call proper addressing system. Addressing is a massive and important national infrastructure necessary for social, political, and economic development of any country. And I'm going to challenge viewers. I want this to be as interactive as possible. Anything you want to do in this country, any form you want to fill, once they ask you name, the next thing is address. Where do you live? Where do you stay?
And some even say P.O. boxes are not acceptable.
Well, because
give us your actual where we can locate you.
Because P.O. box is you go to a post office.
That's not where you are.
Okay, those P.O. boxes. You know, in different jurisdictions, for instance, in Dubai, they don't deliver address at home, but they have a different means of identification. Now, what we seek to do is to have a convergence of all these data, national identification number, your FRSC plate number, the way you pay your tax, just name it. Look, governance is about you and I. In America, they say that the pursuit of happiness is the primary responsibility of any government. Now, if government wants to cater for you, what we call e-governance, the government must know where you live. Look, the engine room of any nation's economy, as you know, is small, medium enterprises, small businesses. These guys need proper addressing in order for them to thrive and make money. And I'll break it down for you. If you want to buy a house in Nigeria, what is the problem with the mortgage system? The mortgage system is anchored and predicated on credit system. The credit system is anchored on proper addressing. Because if I want to lend you money, I need to know where you stay in order for me to be able to collect my money with interest, as the case may be. If I want to cater for you health-wise, God forbid, but we do have emergencies anyway. I need to know where you live. If, for instance, there's fire, I need to know your proper addressing before the fire. Hey, there's fire outbreaking, because you are hysterical. There's fire outbreaking, number 30, Coca Road. Please come. Which Coca Road?
Exactly.
Ilupeju, Orile Gomu, or you have Coca, you have Sanusi, Faponwa, and all of that, or even Ajegunle. Now, let's take it to, for instance, you want to, for the elites, and not even the elite, passports. It is the responsibility of the immigration who issues passports to know where you stay. It's a fundamental requirement. But because of the way we are being, because of the party, the rent-seeking mentality that we used to have, oil, we practically forgot all those small, small things that can drive the economy. Let me give you well, it's a sad example. I just came back from Addis Ababa, where I attended the second Extraordinary Congress of Universal Postal Union. And I was chatting with the ambassador of Nigeria to Ethiopia. Hey, what's going on here? Crime rates, how are Nigerians doing? And he gave me a statistic that 90 Nigerians are in jail in Ethiopia. And that the unfortunate one that just happened was a guy who carried drug, either from South Africa going to whatever, but he was caught. They had him excrete this stuff, but unfortunately, he lost his life. Very sad. Now, how do we get to know who this guy is? They looked at his passport, they checked the address that he gave the authority, fictitious address.
Okay. Now, that brings us really to, for instance, the passport is such an important identification document. People rely on it around the world.
Yeah.
But that unfortunately...
Not all of us would have passport.
Yeah. But where it exists,
yeah.
The fact that the guy applied for a passport with a fictitious address and it didn't get flagged,
yeah.
That also speaks to the challenge, no doubt, that you're trying to address now.
Yeah.
You know, now, first of all, I was reading the other day that your service, the Nigerian Postal Service, and India, you know, that has perhaps a larger, more robust capacity than ours,
yeah.
has offered to train us in financial aspects.
Well,
is that relevant to the whole developmental programs that we're talking about now?
It is relevant, but that's just 1 out of 10 products.
Almost like a drop
that I've introduced since I became the Postmaster General.
Okay.
However, the High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, His Excellency Mr. Reddy, paid me a courtesy visit.
Yes.
Primarily because the 150th birthday anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, and they want us to do a commemorative stamp.
Okay.
Look, the postal order of old, you remember? Anytime anybody got a registered letter back in the days in the secondary school boarding house system, it meant they had postal order. You go to the post office and redeem.
Yes.
Now, disruptive technology has killed that.
Yeah.
We are bringing back postal order in the form of electronic money order.
Okay.
That's just one way to look at it. Another area that you should look at is the controversial stamp duties. It remains the law. Anytime you are issuing a receipt for anybody or you're buying something above a particular threshold,
there must be a stamp.
I mean, my dad,
yes,
as a landlord, was always doing that. You know, affixing adhesive stamp.
That's the law.
That's the law.
And it's a stream of revenue.
Yeah, but now, because of disruptive technology, several millions, if not billions of transactions take place online that require that fixing of stamp as evidence of payment. Now, under me, and this is without any spirit of immodesty, we have developed a solution that will allow or enable NIPOS to electronically dispense postage stamps.
Wait a minute, let me understand it. So one of the more popular, there are quite a number of them, online
Jumia, whatever.
Jumia, Konga, and all of
whatever,
those guys.
yeah.
So I buy a radio off Jumia.
Yeah.
I pay 12,000 naira.
You must be given a receipt. So if it goes bad, if you want to enforce your warranty,
yes,
you need a receipt evidencing that transaction. So, and for that receipt to be admissible in law, for it to be a legal tender, so to say, you need to authenticate it with a stamp. Because it was online, now we have the capacity to, as you buy that, whatever you're buying from Jumia or Konga, once it is above a particular threshold, we will automatically deploy electronic stamp upon payment of 50 naira electronically to Nigerian Postal Service. Now, the platform, or at the heart of all of this really, is the addressing system.
That's where I wanted to return to. I wanted to return to the addressing system because it's so very basic. 14 Fashoro Street is 14 Fashoro Street. Well, you need to put Surulere.
Because Fashoro Street has a road. What about addressing the unaddressed?
That's where I'm leading to.
The people, without any disrespect to them,
yes,
in Makoko, Abule, you know, there are people having regard to their socio-cultural background. They live on water. We have given addresses to waters all over Nigeria. And I'm going to demonstrate same here for you.
Now, no doubt, I wonder if Google, I was going to say no doubt, but let me not say that. To what extent are services like Google Maps involved?
Now, we are leveraging on existing and evolving technologies. Don't forget, Google is not the only one there. NaviMe is there. There's Bosnia from Russia and all of that. Now, they are in competition. They want to do business with Nigeria. 180 million people. By the way, addressing is a worldwide phenomenon, poor addressing. 60 to 65% of the world is buffeted by that challenge. So it's not peculiar to Nigeria. So if Nigeria is doing something, Ghana has done its own, but it's basic when you compare it with what Nigeria is doing through NIPOS. But let me lay a foundation for this. Until the emergence of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, previous governments never paid serious attention to addressing because of oil money. This is something that is capable of driving the economy. If you and I agree that small, medium-scale enterprises and what have you will be the engine room of any nation's economy, without proper addressing, they won't have access to important things that they need for delivery, access to loan, so many others.
What is proper addressing?
Now, proper addressing is digital address, because we are in a digital age, because what we are deploying, what we are giving to Nigerians free of charge, by virtue of the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari decided to look at this critical national infrastructure, which NIPOS is, and you get somebody from the private sector to come and drive it. Somebody from the private sector who is business-minded, who is business-inclined. To be honest with you, my predecessors in office did their own, but nemo dat quod non habet. You cannot give what you don't have.
How does this, what you're talking about now, bringing a digital aspect to it, how does it affect what exists already? So that using this, by the way, I don't know where 14 Fashoro Street is. How would all of this overlay of technology affect?
Very good question. All over the world, what we seek to achieve is convergence of the physical with the digital, old and new. Street names will still be there. So I'm going to reach out for my phone now and then try and get the digital address of where we had this studio. It's different from your gate, because what we have done, leveraging on open location code, we have divided Nigeria into 330 billion 3 meters by 3 meters grid.
Okay.
Each with a digital address.
A unique digital address.
Consisting of the state, the local government, and a unique identifier, 5-digit number, that will be unique to you where you claim your house is or your home is. And not only that, it will also encompass the postcode. Again, digital postcode.
Okay.
Before I became Postmaster General, the postcode we had covered just 30% of Nigeria, and manual and brick and mortar.
What is a postcode for those viewers that don't appreciate it?
What a postcode does is to give you the general area, so that in case of sorting of mails, parcels and small packets, or even for emergency, for police, for anybody, once you have a postcode, if it is Coca in Orile, the postcode of Coca Orile is different from the postcode of Coca Ilupeju.
Yes, yes.
So once we know this is postcode, this is Ilupeju Coca, you don't need to go to Coca Orile.
So it can be helpful if you know the postcode of your address and include that, or give people who will be addressing you that as well. So when you fill a form, you fill it as well. Now let me give you an example.
No, when you fill a form, for instance, the address. No, when you fill a form,
yes.
Once you,
they want the address that we are going to send whatever it is to you.
Yes.
And so you're going to put, again, let me go back to 14 Fashoro. And you now, because you are interested in it, as I was at one time, I looked up the postal code for Ikeja, and I found that it was 1401, 100001. Yes. I used it. And what surprised me was that mail sent to me ended up in K2. And I had to go to K2 post office.
This is where we are.
Okay.
It has brought out...
Fact, yes, you just be looking at it. The camera will still do
it has brought out... Now, if we want to claim the address of where we are,
yes,
you put your name. I'm going to put your name now, Yori. Your surname's Folari. Your telephone number, which you're going to give to me now, and we do it publicly.
I'll give you my phone number on air.
Don't you do that here before? You do that.
My personal phone number or the program's phone number?
Well, anyone.
Okay, give me the program's phone number.
So while
yes, so while they're trying to get it, 0... The person who flashes it doesn't know it offhand. but okay, and then that phone number, in fact, 070 987 319 24. Yeah.
And then next is home office. This is office,
yes.
Your office. We've clicked on office, then we have continued. Automatically generated passcode would be given to you. By the way, I'm going to tell viewers and everybody how to download this app.
Okay.
So, claim address is a function of how strong. Very good. Congrats. Your new digital address is LACO 46900. LACO simply means, LACO is an acronym for Lagos, Koshofed Local Government, 46900 unique identifier to this location to you. Don't forget, we already have your telephone number, typed to your BVN.
Yes.
It's there already.
Okay.
Now, this is free.
This is beginning to smack a bit of Big Brother. You already have my BVN, you already have my address.
All over the world. All over the world. The connecting link between you and government services is your address.
Okay. I wonder, I'm sure, did the camera get that? I can see LACO. Yes, I'm told that. No, don't show me. Because you just be looking at it. They can work it out from there.
All right, good. So LACO 46900,
yes,
that's the address of here.
Yes.
Now, the postcode is 100246, digital postcode.
There you go. Digital postcode.
Yeah.
So maybe one of the first things that probably the post office is considering doing is scrapping all the analog postcodes that we knew.
Naturally, the 090 has it not died in natural death? That goes without saying.
Now, how does this benefit me? That LACO, what did you say? This quick experiment that you did apparently successfully.
Yes.
What is my unique identifier then from this?
Look, this is tied to this stage that we have.
Exactly where we're at now.
That's why we call it hyper ultra specific, so that you won't miss your way one.
Yes.
You won't miss your delivery.
Okay.
Police looking for anybody whose address they know won't miss their way. Fire, ambulance is massive.
Now, I want to understand how I actually can benefit from what you've just demonstrated. Is it the fact that, as you said, every Nigerian who has a bank account has a BVN?
Look,
every Nigerian has a phone number.
The way to access this is this.
Yes.
Go to Apple Store on your basic phone or Google Play Store.
No, I'm saying beyond the app.
You need to download it first and foremost.
I'm saying that I have the app.
Yeah.
You know, I've done all of that. I've gone to Google Play app. I've gone to Apple. I have the app. I can locate where I am, such as you've just done.
Yeah.
So how does that information that I've got now, how can I use it now?
The bank will now be favorably disposed to giving you small loans because they know where you live.
Oh, yes, that's in the larger scheme of things. But
I'm just mentioning one after the other.
Oh, okay.
Emergency can reach you. For instance, God forbid, robbery incident. It's part of the responsibility of, in fact, as a matter of fact, the number one responsibility of government is protection of life and property.
Okay, yes.
The security aspect of it. This naturally will significantly bring down commission of crime because a lot of people commit crime under the guise of anonymity. They don't know where they live.
Indeed, indeed.
Terrorists, armed robbers, those bad guys, they are not spirits.
Yes.
They live somewhere.
But I still need a bit more clarification on the addressing.
Yeah.
On the addressing.
Yeah.
Now I've got LACO, whatever. I happen to know it, and it's a good thing to know. Oh, yeah. Success.
Yeah.
The coordinates have pinpointed me to here.
Yeah.
But as a substitute or an aid to knowing my address and consequently being able to deliver the phone to me or the earphones to me.
It's very easy.
You know.
What do you expect from government? So I can tell you how this is important to you.
What do I expect
from your government? Your government should protect you first and foremost.
Yes, but indeed. But we're talking about the postal services here. So all these streams will lead into that.
Don't let us make the mistake of isolating or just looking at, one second please, or just looking at NIPOS as just letter delivery or mail delivery.
I understand that we can't stay in that road,
now,
in that mode.
Now, so the advantage...
But I do know that our addressing, even when we ordinary people...
Payment of tax, procurement of passport, vehicle license, driver's license.
All of this require your home address.
Of course.
Yes. Yes. So what I do now is I will give my actual address.
The one that you have downloaded that is digital address that we will verify.
Yes.
This is where I'm going. Now, the gentleman, God may so rest in peace, who gave a fictitious address, is going to be buried in Addis Ababa because there's nobody to claim him. They don't know where to. If government is now giving you an address so that they will know where you stay, emergency can reach you, you can access small-scale loan. Why don't we have mortgage in Nigeria? The credit system, just put it, credit system. Credit system cannot thrive without proper addressing. Let me go further. Now, what we do, and in terms of security, employment generation, I'm going to demonstrate how this will create jobs for Nigerian youths. Now, evidently, by the time people become aware of this digital addressing as important to them, you download free of charge, you have your address free of charge. But the moment you want to use it for a commercial purpose.
Thank you. That's what I want to know. I want to know how can I use what I've got.
So wait for me. Now, the moment you now have that digital address, you want to use it for commercial services or government services, it is incumbent on us as a government to know that this address that you have claimed is yours, we need to verify, indeed it is yours, where you have claimed you live. So there are millions of addresses to be verified.
Which banks do at the moment? When you open an account, they're going to send a person to go with his 2 legs.
But you and I know, people just put fictitious addresses, and they also outsource to some smart guys who claim to be verifying addresses. They don't go to locations.
I see.
You and I know.
I see.
I'm a blunt person. I'll say, yeah, and I want anybody to come and have a debate with me if he has contrary opinion. Now, having said that, because we have not developed a robust solution by which we can come to your location, you know, you gave me some information there. So the person will come either from NIPOST or our accredited address verification agent. This is Nigerian youth, unemployed. Oh, you want to verify this address. You are Mr. Yori Folari. Yes. Your telephone number is so that you gave. Yes. They will take your picture, live picture, attached to that house, and that will be automatically uploaded to our database. And you would have an address verification certificate.
So you only need to do it once.
You will do it once.
Once you have that verification certificate, address verification certificate, it's in the system, and you don't need to do it another time. It's like subsequently, when that same address is used.
But you know, you renew your license every year.
I see.
You need
so
your
it
passport.
has to be renewed because you might move.
You might move, things might change, but we'll do it in such a way that it will be affordable. What are we talking about? 1,000 naira for verification of address. Now, how will this create employment? Because we have millions of addresses to verify, and NIPO's staff strength is just 10,000. Certainly, we can't deal with it. So we came up with an idea that got United Nations through 2 of its agencies, International Telecommunications Union and World Summit on Information Society, to give NIPOS an award in the category of leveraging on ICT to create e-employment. The young man or woman who is unemployed that we have accredited as our address verification agent that will come to your house, after you pay 1,000 naira, will be paid between 150 and 200 naira for each address verified. So,
to what extent is all of this linked to, for example, a population census, which can be controversial in Nigeria?
Don't also forget that I have a mandate, Postal Service Addressing, Nigerian Population Commission. That's why we have interagency collaboration, which is happening between NIPOST and NIMC, Nigeria Identity Management Commission. It's happening between NIPOST, Federal Road Safety Corps. It's happening between NIPOST and banks, NIPOST and some other parastatals. We have just started it. And naturally, what I tell people, when we started GSM, I mean, I bought my SIM card about 37,500. SIM card is free now, isn't it? When we started GSM, we didn't start with per second billing, right?
So things improved as they went along.
So all of this, the starting point is to create awareness. Let Nigerians know.
I need to come back, and what I'm going to say now comes back to this whole addressing aspect, because you think post office, you think address. I mean those two, and then of course you can expand that. You talked about the FRSC. I think I heard the FRSC saying that, look, we have licenses of Nigerians, I think in the region of 30,000 or 300,000, so that kind of a number, unclaimed.
PVC,
unclaimed. They don't know how to reach these people.
Last man doesn't have capacity to stack up impounded vehicles. So with addressing now, once we know your address, that is tied to your telephone number, don't worry, they'll come and give you your birth certificate at home. What do I mean by that? You're fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to impound vehicle. You don't impound vehicle in the US or UK. What we seek to do is to replicate what they do in other societies that some of our people want to die to go to. Because we are leveraging on the same technology. And I'm proud to say this, that they will say Nigeria, we know they carry last. But when we carry last, we do it in such a way that we'll leapfrog. Now, our address system is more hyper-specific than any address system in the world.
It is?
The truth of the matter is this. Look, The legacy addressing system in UK, in US, is working for them. And therefore, there's no reason for them to come and use. You know, they are very proud people. So what we are doing, and it's working for us. If it is not broken, don't fix it. Okay? But ours is you're having a digital address that has the state, the local government, the district, unique identifier, and digital postcode. The postcode of UK is not digital.
No, it isn't. But it's become so very second nature. Yeah. You look up, you see NW10, SE, whatever, and all of those kind of things. So you know the general district
ultimately
you're
where
in.
we are going is to convert post offices to what we call public access venue. A one-stop center where you can do so many things. In the Western world, you will see on a Monday morning or Tuesday, as the case may be, people will go to post office and transfer so many businesses.
Okay, we've got to go on a break now. We'll come back because there's a lot more to this. And stay with us, please. We'll open the phones as well. Welcome back, and we have Postmaster General Bisi Adegbui as our guest this morning, Ashwaju Oderemo. We're talking about postal services, and we spoke about it around the world. Take the Royal Mail, for instance, in the UK. It's a very highly developed postal, setup. I think it's been going for God knows how many decades. You will know that a lot better than I. It's big, 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 big. And in America, they have the similar government postal agency.
That's USPS.
USPS, where very, very much is done by those guys.
The largest employer of labor in the US.
Exactly. So you explained that because of oil, we neglected to do the needful developmentally. It happened to us also with power generation and all of that and distribution. So here we are now. I wanted to ask, when we see documentary films of how they go about their business in the USPS or Royal Mail, and you look at it as this is a digital age factory of sorting, electronic computers, and all of that. I know we have our own challenges. How do you relate to this because of the needs of now and the resources you have now?
Well, again, very good question. Don't forget that a journey of 1,000 years will begin with a step. It is challenging because NIPOS remains a government parastatal, still shackled or buffeted by the bureaucracy of government. And government will tell you readily that government has no business in business. So if you want to subscribe to global best practice, we must do what others are doing. Commercialize NIPOS. A lot of people conflate commercialization with privatization, with liberalization, and all of that. I will explain. What should guide us in deciding which model we will use for NIPOS is the need for NIPOS to still render social service and for it not to die. Because if it dies, it will not be able to render that social service.
What social service?
Postal service remains a social
this
service. This
whole communication aspect of it. I send a birthday card to you, you get it. I send a birthday present to you, you get it.
It is not even that.
I send a proper business letter to you, you get it.
It is not even that. In a multi-ethnic, multi-religious, diverse country like ours, even in America, there are places where postal services are not commercially viable. But the people there remain Nigerian citizens that must be served. That is what we call universal service obligation, which I refer to as social service, which to all intents and purposes is subsidy.
And must be served, as you were just explaining, not just in terms of delivery of letters, but also other services.
What about financial inclusion?
That is it, but other services.
Let me tie the Postal Service to, by far, the most important things for United Nations, which Nigeria is a member of. Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations are geared towards making life better for ordinary citizens and gender equality and all of that. Half of the 17 SDGs are tied to Postal Service. One, tell me which parastatal in Nigeria that has its presence in all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. Only 9 posts. Majority of our people live in the rural and semi-urban centers. Are they not supposed to have access to basic banking services?
In the past, the way that used to be sorted was having postal agencies.
Good, good. I will come to that. Let's address this issue of financial inclusion. The underserved, the unserved, the unbanked, the underbanked. You can't blame banks for closing shops or for not opening shops in rural areas because they are in need for business. So it is only an post, which is a government organization that must render social service and must also make profits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, striking a delicate balance between the two is the responsibility of 21st century digital postmaster general who has business orientation, who is inclined towards doing business and then leveraging on existing and evolving technologies. Whether we have been able to do that or not, it's a matter of time for us to see. But one thing is clear. Until the advent of the present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, governments before us never did anything regarding national addressing system. Government has a national addressing system. It has a national addressing council. The chairman of National Addressing Council of Nigeria is the vice president. 6 governors based on geopolitical zones, postmaster general, national security advisor, central bank governor. You know, people who determine the lives, the well-being, the welfare of Nigerians.
Yeah, but are they doing anything?
No, they're now saying now that, I mean, is it not evident that before Buhari, we didn't do anything about addressing? And Buhari got there, appointed the BC Adebui, and God has used President Muhammadu Buhari, the governor of Ogun State, and BC Adebui, working with young Nigerians, tech guys, boys and girls, because this thing is local, nothing foreign about it. So if the achievement of this government can be seen from the perspective of we're coming with a digital addressing system that would reduce insecurity. I don't want to give figures, but clearly, look, the terrorists, the armed robbers, the bad guys, once they know that people know where they stay, they're going to think twice about committing crime.
Okay.
Now, unemployment. I've just demonstrated to you millions of addresses to be verified. You are going to create, hey, I don't want to give figures, but that is better left for imagination. But the minimum in the first year will be 250,000. And as we verify addresses, so will the opportunities grow. I mean, if a government is doing that, and you don't want to see that as an achievement, maybe because we are starting, but naturally.
Okay, I have a question, but Mr. George has called in from Ikeja, so I guess it's going to roll like this. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning,
and,
sir.
Good morning to Mr. Adebui.
Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yori, I first of all want to commend the Postmaster General. He's one MDA chief executive that I can see doing his work with passion. Whether you will succeed in your goal or not depends on the approach. Whatever you approach with passion, chances are that you will succeed. When you come to the postal system, Uncle Yori, the fact that a digital age has reduced the import of postal services, you look at the, what do you call them, those that fall, UPS, DHL, those ones who are still in the postal system, the fact that they are striving simply says that the postal system has not gone into a cliff. It's just that we needed somebody to bring it out and upgrade it, update it, just like what Mr. Adeboye is doing now. I listened to his presentation. First of all, he said there are 10,000 staff in 9 posts. With this type of revenue generating system they have, that postal system is not thriving, how is he paying 10,000 people? And then the address code, I would want to suggest to government that if you want it to succeed, they should make it a condition, because many people do not want their addresses to be known, especially those who have something to hide. They will want to hide their addresses, and the only way to make it is to tie it to certain things that many people cannot do without. Mm-hmm. For example, banks, for example, national identity card, and admission system in our schools and universities. Make it a precondition that what he is showing us this morning, they should get a certificate of it and attach it as a document for admission, for banking, and all of that, essential transactions. By that way, many people will subscribe to it. I'm really carried away when he said that even those who live on water can still have addresses. Indeed. It would be very good if this can work. Let us encourage it. Okay. And I want to say that he's doing well, and you please keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. Very quickly, let me answer the 2 questions.
Sure.
How are we paying the staff of NIPOST? Federal government picks up the bill of paying the salary of NIPOST staff because they don't want to retrench. That's 1. 2, NIPOST as an organization does not receive subvention from government. It is what we generate that we use to render the social service. But before I came, NIPOST was a monoproduct organization. Mail delivery, then our cash cow, EMS.
Okay.
That's the functional equivalent of DHL. It's a worldwide brand.
It is.
But the truth of the matter is we are subsidizing. People who patronize us know very well that what they pay, I don't want to call it peanuts. Mm-hmm. But the fact remains that, let me just do this analogy. You pay us in Naira. Mm-hmm. You want to send something to anywhere in the world. Our partners get paid in SDR, which is stronger than the dollar. So naturally,
what is SDR?
Special drawing rights.
Okay.
It's the exchange that we use so that you don't call it pounds and then people will say, is it UK? Colonialism, you don't call it.
Okay. So Jinadu is Jinadu in the UK wants to comment. Good morning, Mr. Jinadu.
The second part of
please
hold it.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Concerning the Postal, the General Post Office Director, your guest anyway.
The Postmaster General of Nigeria.
Postmaster General, yes. What he's talking about postcode, I'm not clear about it by putting pictures, phone number, and so on for registration. Because while I was in Nigeria, I used the sat-nav, putting the address where I'm going to, and the purpose of it is to identify where exactly am I going to. And the same thing that works in UK works down in Nigeria. The only difference is the postcode. The postcode is taking exactly to TVC, where your station is, if you have the postcode. All my address at Ikorodu, it will take you right to the front of the place and tell that you are at your place. But when I use the sat nav using the address, putting Ikeja or putting Ikorodu, it does work. It takes me there. It takes me to the area. Not exactly the part of the house I'm going to. But it will take me to number 13, the Lekiti, or number 1, Adela, Deku Street, so on and so forth. And then for clarification, the postcode started from October 1959. And it was completed by 1974 in UK, whereby all addresses have been postcode. And in UK, it's called zip code. In Australia, it's called something else. In Ireland, it's called something else as well. But if it's a good development because it will help to solve crime and to stop issues of looking for addresses here and there.
All right, then. Okay, thank you very much for your comment, Mr. Jinodu. I'm going to go back to the Postmaster General now. I think there was one outstanding question from the last time.
Let me address this quickly. Mr. Jinodu, you live in UK. Postcode does not take you to the door of the person you are going to.
Google Maps will.
But postcode describes general area.
Yes.
Where, I mean, I don't like to say the way I would say it because I've declared it. It's with code of conduct. I own a house in UK from my private effort. My address is number 30 Woodrush Close, SE14, 6DJ. SE is southeast. So what will take you to that door is 30 Woodrush, but once you input into your sat-nav, postcode so, it will tell you are going to southeast. And then it will tell you number 30. That's just a clarification. Now, for Nigeria, I said before I became Postmaster General, it was brick and mortar manual, and it covered 30% of Nigeria. That's an incontestable and incontrovertible fact. Now, sat-nav can take you to the door. What about people who live where vehicles can't access? They are Nigerians, and we must provide for them. That's the difference between what we are bringing to the table and sat-nav. Because people who live on the water, people who live in, blighted areas. I grew up in Ibadan. There are many places where you can't, even bicycle can't access, but human beings can trek there. For as long as human beings can trek, they will give you an address, and you can try it.
Okay, so this is about getting a digital address so that people, as you just expressed the idea, that are living on water, off the beaten path.
We call them addressing the unaddressed.
Okay, so now the unaddressed and the addressed will then become level in the sense that everybody now has something called a digital address.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand it up to there. I was trying to find out, and maybe this is what it's about. The demonstration that you did, and you gave me that
LACO 592, whatever.
LACO, yes. That then becomes my digital address.
Yes.
For the period.
For the office.
For the office.
If it is
as you said, it's renewable, like licenses every year.
That is verification. If you are not going to use this address that we have given to you free of charge for anything, we don't have to verify, you don't have to pay anything. But of what use is an address for you? If you can't use it to procure passport, to have access to government services.
So once I have this particular address that I got as a result of this app.
And you get it verified.
And you get it verified, you can now pass this on to whoever needs to deliver stuff or contact you in any way,
Let me give you a simple example. LACO 5932. If you like, you can put your street name. But it's not useful for us.
Yes.
It's vanity.
Is that LACO thing?
Is that LACO thing? Now, let me address the issue raised by Mr. George. By ensuring that you make it mandatory.
Yeah.
It has to be backed by law. We are a country of law, where rule of law prevails. I'm happy to announce here that the National Assembly, the Senate, has passed the Postal Reform Bill, which has provision for authorizing NIPOS to give digital address, and which will also make it mandatory, really, if we want to get things done in Nigeria.
So that it's mandatory. We don't really have a choice about it. We must do it. We should have it.
Do it because
like BVN, for instance. Whether you like it or not,
you have to do it.
You must subscribe to
and
BVN.
Really.
Olawale Inosogbo, I beg your pardon. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Olawale Inosogbo.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I must say that I'm one of the critics of government, any government, because I expect the best from my government. But this development from the Postmaster General, from the analysis I've been listening to since, I must give it to the Postmaster General and the idea and the team. They are really doing a good job, because one of the things I've been clamoring for in this country is that when we are adopting any technology, let us adopt the latest technology. For the Postmaster General adopting the latest technology, that what is in trend, I give it to him. Because if this is what we have been doing all the while, we are not taking ourselves back to ages back, then this country will have been somewhere else in the height. So I must give it to the Postmaster General. He's doing a real good job. Because with his analogy says, I say with the advancing, it will be even easy for the Nigeria security to place camera. If they have to place camera anywhere in Nigeria now, it will be easier with the address system. And that is that. And I also want to encourage the Postmaster General to keep this up. Let me tell you, though nothing lasts forever, if another government is coming in, I personally will write that government to retain this thing. Yes, because this is good for the nation. And what is good is good. There is nothing to add, there is nothing to subtract.
All right, then.
And it will not take a day. It's a gradual process. Now that we are starting from this point, it will be an add-on. Anytime we are adding, it will not be that we are taking us back to old ages.
Okay.
It will be an addition.
Indeed.
So I want to give it to him. It's a good job. And I think sensitization is needed.
Yes.
Let us sensitize our people about this. Let there be mass sensitization. And let it be a very long one that we go down to every area, that everybody will be aware. Thank you very much, Uncle Yori. And I even want to see him again, bring him again to do the analysis of where we can gain, where Nigerian youth can gain.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawale.
Thank you very much. Very quickly, as you are giving it to me, also give it to the person that appointed me. Because without me having been appointed, really, by President Muhammadu Buhari, all of these innovations probably wouldn't have taken place. Now, having said that, youth, because I have lots of programs that I'm doing, there's an initiative that we call Post-Yes. That is Post-Youth Engagement Strategy. I'll say it again because I think it bears repetition. The demographic architecture of Nigeria consists of about 65% of the youths, roughly translating to 80, 90 million people, as the case may be. These guys don't patronize the post because we don't offer products that will, be attractive to them and even help them in their various. Nigerian youth of today, what do? They are entrepreneurs. They're into fashion. They're into music. They're into all of that. Now, how can we use the post to assist these people? I'll cite the example of somebody, it may be an advert, or she just walked up to me at an event. My name is so. I'm the proprietress or whatever of omalata.com. What she does is to package pepper and all of that, exports. Look, if you assist her in deliveries alone, 30% of her costs will be reduced. And that is the job of NIPOST. Logistics is one other area. So for the youth, fashion, that's a burgeoning, it's massive. And then the e-commerce that I told you, the ecosystem exponentially growing. And wait for this, since I became the Postmaster General, I got Nigerian Postal Service to be given an international money transfer operator's license, which means that the between 20 and $23 billion that our migrant workers send to remit to Nigeria on a yearly basis, the cost of transaction is very high for them. So is the reach, because it has to be through Western Union or MoneyGram, which means it has to be through banks. Banks are not in the rural areas where the people who need this money live. Now that the post is involved, now we're going to bring down the cost. Then the reach will be.
Let me take Ralph in the UK. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please, with a question, quickly.
Yeah. Hello, please. What I wanted to say, Hello? Yeah. What I wanted to say is that I like the topic, and what I'm trying to deduce out is, because we are addressing the system in Nigeria is not too okay,
So how do they want to do it?
Okay.
that what they did can be effective. For example, let's say I want to say something from anywhere in Nigeria. How do they want to track it and do it?
Yes, yes. Okay. Thank you very much for calling in. I think I was just advised that that's our last caller. First of all, so that we don't lose out.
Let's address the issue. He just joined the program.
Yes.
So let him know that I've explained how we want to do this so that we can talk about some other things. You know,
So you used an app just now.
Yeah.
I think everybody, if you're not on, if you don't have an Android phone, you have an,
an Apple.
An Apple phone.
Go to Apple Store or
Google
Play Store, addressed by NIPOST.
Addressed by NIPOST. That's the name of the app. Addressed by NIPOST.
It will pop up.
Okay. And it's free.
Free, you download it.
Okay. So a lot of people
and you
want to hear
you
this.
would download your digital address.
Okay.
But when you want to use it.
Yes.
And we really want to know where you claim is your home, your office, we need to come and verify it.
There you go. So address by NIPOST. Whether it's on the Apple App Store or if it's on Google Play, that's the name. Yes. Address by NIPOST. So thank you very much.
Don't put NIPOST address. So that will give you official address of NIPOST.
I thought the name of the app.
Address by NIPOST.
Address by NIPOST. NIPOST is the.
I'm sure multiple options will come up.
Exactly.
And then you'll see
once you want to search it, just address by NIPOST. It'll come up. Yeah. So a lot of people can explore it from there, and this will become a lot more intelligible to them.
Yeah.
Even if you're abroad, you can go ahead and do it too.
No, why do you need to use abroad? It's location. It's location.
Like Ralph called in from the UK. He might just want to explore it.
No. Call somebody in Nigeria to do that for you.
Okay. So
although if you download it,
yes,
from places that I've gone to, India, Ethiopia, the only place it hasn't worked is Madagascar because Google does not work there in Madagascar.
Okay. Postmaster General, it's just like we've been here for only 2 minutes. So there's so very much information, so very much that needs to be reformed. And we concentrated on the engine room, the back room, and necessarily so to explain it. As someone said, they want you back. So you heard it yourself. It's not us hassling you. It's the people wanting you back. We'll call you back, and we'll maybe take another leg of this momentous work that you're doing. And I want to thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much. Voice Populi is very there. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So I will always call anytime you want me to call.
So that's Bisi Adegboye, Postmaster General of Nigeria. That's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.